Hello everyone, it's Jonathan here, founder of Driving Academy, and in today's video we're going to be discussing how to avoid the long wait when it comes to getting your CDL permit. So in the state of New Jersey and many other states right now, there's a big backlog when it comes to passing their CDL permit and getting your CDL written test done. This has many different reasons, but the main reason is the capacity that they actually used to do has shrunk tremendously. So what I mean by that? In order to get your CDL permit in the state of New Jersey, there is a two-step process. Step number one, you're going to have to purchase your CDL permit. And step number two, you're going to have to take the actual written test. Now, because everything went online for online scheduling, you're going to have to schedule both times. And it's not like you can schedule one before you do the other. So the first thing you're going to have to do is schedule a time to go get the CDL permit purchased. Now, in order to purchase a CDL permit, you're going to need $125. And you're going to need 6 points of identification. Make sure you bring a social security card with you because that's one of the required identification points for a CDL license. So to kind of give you an example, as we're filming this right now, people are waiting on average anywhere from 2 to 4 weeks just to set that appointment. And most of the time, if you're in the local New Jersey area, maybe like the Union County area, Middlesex County, Essex County, you're going to have to drive all the way down to South Jersey to get any type of appointment unless you get lucky. That's simply, again, because the capacity of a lot of DMVs have shrunk and the increase of drivers and the increase of people, and there has been an increase of people who want to get a CDL license. So after you actually purchase the CDL permit, then and only then is when you can actually schedule taking the written test. And unfortunately now that's anywhere from 3 to 6 weeks away when it comes to scheduling to take the written test itself. So today's video, I'm going to share with you a simple trick on how to cut that time almost in half. And you make sure you don't tell anybody about this trick, because if DMV finds out, they might be contacting us and say, take that video down. So here it is. In order to kind of cut down on the process, the way I would recommend you doing it, when you go purchase your CDL permit, make sure you're ready to take the test there, right? So make sure on that day that you go, assume that you're going to be taking the test, which means you want to do all the studying in preparation for it. And make sure that on that day itself, you're ready to rock and roll. Because what's going to happen is after you purchase a CDL permit, you're going to ask one simple question. Hey, is it possible to take the test today? If you ask the question and you get the person nicely and you use your persuasion, in many cases what happens is maybe somebody canceled and they have an availability for testing right now, or maybe somebody just took the test and they failed and they have 1 hour time slot, which means now they have to fill that. No one's sitting in that seat. So now all of a sudden you can get into that seat, bang out your test, and boom, you don't have to wait that extra long time when it comes to scheduling the written test. The other thing that you can do when it comes to speeding up the process is make sure you pass the test the very first time. Say you go and purchase a CDL permit and for whatever reason they do not have the ability to give you the test today. When you actually schedule the test itself, make sure you pass that very first time, which means if you want to be trained correctly, you got to become a student here at Driving Academy, because our permit training course is better than anything I've ever seen out there. It has 95% success rate as long as you follow the course as we designed it. If you start skipping around and just looking at questions and answers, you're probably not going to be passing the first time. DMV likes to trick you by changing one of the words in the questions. It's a completely different question, which requires a completely different answer, right? So the trick number 2 is make sure you pass the very first time that you go, because if you fail, you're going to have to schedule again, and that's another 3 to 6 weeks out there, which means now you're just delaying the entire process. And then the last and third and final tip is, say the tip number 1 didn't work out, say tip number 2 didn't work out, tip number 3 you can kind of use in between tip number 1 and tip number 2. So when you go and get your CDL permit, you're not able to actually take the test the same day. You want to schedule a test. Now the tests are going to be 3 to 6 weeks out, like I said. What you can do is log in every single day throughout different times of the day and see if something opened up, because by chance there are chances where you can be logging in, somebody canceled for tomorrow or the next week or whatever it is, then you can go in there, cancel your appointment right away and make that new appointment and schedule that with no issues, and now you just saved yourself a couple weeks. Think about it, for every week you don't have a CDL license, you're losing out on what they say the opportunity cost is. So that means when you have a CDL license, say you can make $1,000 a week, or $1,200 a week, or $1,500 a week, depending on what kind of work you do, right? So say you're making less than $1,000 a week now. Say, to make the math simple, you're making $900 a week, which means for every week you do not have a CDL license, you're losing $100, right? If If you're making $800 a week, you're losing $200 every single week you don't have your CDL license. So time is money. What are you waiting for? If you want to speed up the process and pass the very first time, give us a call, 908-525-3609. We can explain all the different tips for you, again, in person for you, and we'll kind of get you going as soon as possible. The other thing you can do is take a virtual school tour at cdldrivingacademy.com/tour. Again, that's cdldrivingacademy.com/tour. Or just give us a call, 908-525-3609. Our mission is to help 1 million people get on the road to freedom, and what's more free than driving where you want to go and getting your permit fast. So let's go. Give us a call, 908-525-3609, or check out virtual school tour at cdldrivingacademy.com/tour. Thanks. Have a great day. Hey, thank you so much for watching this video. If you like it, make sure you hit that like button. Also, subscribe to our channel. It's really going to help us out. Click on that button. And if you want to continue yourself on your road to freedom, here's more videos to watch. There's endless amounts. Hopefully we get to see each other one day very soon. Thanks.